knowing the show this morning on TVC, you probably would have been expecting that we'll stay on the Chatham House outing in the UK. That happened yesterday. Quite an exciting affair. You know, it depends. All sorts of opinions have started to, been, flying about on the same event. On the one hand, you see some opinions, oh man, that was a great outing. On the other hand, you see some that, oh no. And so that is the way of life. But we'll be looking at it. The APC presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he was in the UK yesterday to speak to diaspora and also to sort of point his way, how, if he's elected, how he would hope to run. One emphasis, one thing that came out is something that a lot of people who are close to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu know, those that have been with him. And he spoke about it yesterday in the UK at Chatham House. His teamster management style. Whoever's worked with the man knows that this is the way he rolls, as the youth say. This is the way he rolls. It's a team effort, it's a teamster, but we'll come to that. A lot of people have been saying that why was he, assigning questions? There are those who are saying, why not? He explained it, that this is how I do. And those people were ready and indeed did justice to the subject. Anyhow, I get ahead of myself. Let's do an overview. We have a package, a bit lengthy for TV news story terms. It's about 4 minutes long. Here is Tinubu in the UK at Chatham House.
Why? I see myself as a marketable individual.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu spoke on the topic, Nigeria's 2023 elections, security and economic development, and its foreign policy imperatives to a mixed audience of Nigerians and foreigners.
The youth has been part of that. I want the governor of Lagos State.
He said youths are the greatest asset of the future, adding that they will be part of his, quote, all-inclusive government, pointing to Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The APC presidential candidate also promised to secure the country if elected as president, calling for a violence-free campaign. He condemned recent attacks of offices of the Independent National Electoral Commission in some parts of the country.
We are still building confidence in our democratic and voting system.
The former Lagos State Governor also insisted that his birth, academic and professional records are consistent, adding that his critics are only wasting their time and money.
At the time of birth, I was dated March 29, 1952, and the family record. I didn't think then, that day, I've determined to be or decided to be a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Not even that I will go to politics. I've had a very good exposure in life. My record is consistent. And the school and the university, they questioned. They now convinced that they wasted their money and their time. I'm not claiming another father. I am Tinubu and Tinubu proper. If they want a DNA, they could as well require for one. Deloitte trained me as an accounting firm. Mobile has attested to my record, a standing record. I got to the pinnacle of my career. And the private sector, who among them can brag about it?
Some members of his entourage spoke on what they hope to achieve when voted into power, ranging from reduction in oil theft by adopting necessary technology and amending the constitution to ensure state policing, amongst others.
To combat oil theft is tied to the security situation of Nigeria. the personnel of all the security or coercive agencies will be increased to cope with the large population of Nigeria.
The armed forces are not fighting with other countries. They are fighting with non-state actors. And the doctrine, the training, the numbers must change. And the Bola Tinubu administration already has a blueprint which is embedded in our action plan to address this. We'll scale up the numbers of the armed forces. We'll ramp up not only the numbers, but the training and equipment.
Private sector-driven economic growth and foreign direct investment will also be a key element of that process. That's the objective of the administration, and that's what they intend to achieve through the economic policy.
Nigeria has been more dependent on importing drugs from outside the country, vaccines from outside the country. He is going to also go into health manufacturing, where we'll produce the essential medicines that Nigerians can consume.
They assured the audience of accelerated investment on gas production, revamping the economic and foreign policy imperatives.
Okay, so there you have it, the meeting link on via Zoom, and I also think, yeah, I know, Facebook Live was published yesterday, so I imagine a lot of people from around the world would have been watching. And so we'll talk about it now, and the Senate spokesman Senator Ajibola Bashiru is our guest this morning to sort of review and talk about it. Good morning to you, Senator Ajibola Bashiru.
Yeah, good morning, Yori. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Maybe I could ask, how are you too, especially regarding Asiwaju's Chatham House outing?
Yeah, it is first important, just as usually do, to preface my comments to say that although I'm Senate spokesperson and chairman Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, but my contribution here is as regards my personality as a politician of the APC and a member of the Presidential Campaign Council of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu campaign. So whatever opinion I offer here is as regards my partisan position as a chieftain of the APC and part of the campaign of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima. Having said that, I think there's a need to take a broad brush of what transpired at the Chatham House yesterday.
Sure.
The theme of the engagement of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has to do with economy, security, and foreign affairs imperatives ahead of the 2023 election. And the platform gave opportunity to the flag bearer of our party of an opportunity to speak his mind as to those critical areas as regards security, as regards economy, and of course foreign relations. And before taking the ladder into what he said about those critical areas, it is imperative that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, characteristically as a Democrat, made introductory remarks as to the need for sanctity of electoral process in Nigeria, and that having been a leader of opposition for a long time, he are now in government, is still committed to free, fair, and credible election. And they were looking towards INEC living up to the billing of having a free, fair, and credible election, because that is sine qua non to democratic advancement and welfare of our people. Now, in the area of security, Asiwaju was able to provide a linkage between economic development, security, and technology. In this regard, he was able to show that the need for a secure Nigeria is imperative, not only in the interest of Nigeria, but the interest of global stability and security. A secure Nigeria is very imperative to security of West Africa and the entire African continent. And he was able to identify the various symptoms of insecurity, banditry, terrorism, kidnapping, and so on and so forth, and come up with action plan as already enunciated in the Renew Hope 23 manifesto that have been adopted by our party, the APC. And of course, in the area of economy, the presidential flag bearer of our party, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was able to identify the need to address the challenge in the energy sector. And characteristic of him being a federalist, even when he was governor of Lagos State, he was able to identify the imperative of decentralized energy system in Nigeria. And of course, he took a swipe at a situation whereby the central government is the operator, regulator, and price fixer in the energy sector. And of course, as he said, that will not work. So we are looking towards a decentralized energy sector. And of course, he also underscored the need and imperative of the private sector to be drivers of economy. That, for me, may be said to be a non-brainer in the modern world. And with the work that Asiwaju did in Lagos and transformative leadership he gave, there is no doubt about his credential about utilizing private sector in being able to drive economic development and advancement of the people. Or very important to also his exposition on the economy is agriculture. He was able to say, while acknowledging that the present administration of President Muhammadu Buhari have been able to expand the cultivable landscape in Nigeria in terms of agriculture, and also making available facilities for expansion of agric in Nigeria. He was able to highlight the need for the use of technology, also the need to also ensure that access road and, of course, investment in critical sector to be able to drive food security has been imperative to be able to drive cultural development of Nigeria. And in terms of budgeting, he was able to advance that budgeting must be targeted at minimum of growth of 7% annually, which in a period of 10 years will be able to double the GDP of the country. Then in the area of foreign relations, he was able to see the palpable link between domestic policy and foreign relations. We must be able to drive a foreign relations that advance welfare, security, and advancement of our people. And of course, a Pan-African perspective to his foreign relation perspective was also brought in a broader perspective in a discussion at Chatham yesterday. I think that is the broad overview of the presentation of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday at Chatham House.
Indeed, Senator, those are the broad strokes. Now, in terms of his delivery, a lot of people, had commented that, it was an incisive delivery. It was confident. It was relaxed. Generally, it just gave the impression of competency. But there are those who would say that, well, that's one's opinion. What did you think about his mode of delivery? Let's take it one after the other, especially when he gave his opening address/lecture.
Of course, some other commentators, Yori, have listened to them this morning, talking about that his presentation was scripted. Then I asked myself, if a person is going to stand at a stage like that to make a presentation, whether written or whether composed, I wouldn't expect anything less than a well-articulated position in that regard. And you can see that he spoke along thematic lines, and I've been able to highlight the broad outline of his paper. He spoke to electoral integrity. He spoke to the issue of security. He spoke to the issue of energy development, economy, agriculture, security, and of course, he spoke to addressing the challenges of the youth in terms of unemployment. And I think he was able to, he did not shy away from the fact that our country is faced with certain challenges. It could have been otherwise if he just, talking in platitudes, but he was able to marry the challenges as well as his prospect and action plan to be able to address it. So I think he was able also, to clearly be very articulate and choosy in the kind of words, that he used in expressing, his thoughts about those, thematic areas of the subject matter of discussion.
Okay, indeed, just as you say, I mean, if somebody is going to go on a world stage like that, of course you're going to be prepared. Of course you're going to work on what your presentation is going to be. It doesn't matter who you are, whether CEO, whether president. People are not expected at that level to come up and just be speaking off the cuff. So I don't even see that a statement has been made when you say that it was a speech that he was working around. Of course, it would have been disrespectful, I think, if he had just not had anything at all apart from ad-libbing. So that to one side. The content of it, the mode, the manner of delivery, inspiring. Some have said it's confidence boosting. And it's just for those maybe who are on the borderline, it just might have swung it yesterday for more people to come around. As for those not needing to be, you don't preach to the converted. Those who already know and have made up their mind where they are, they were just ecstatic. But again, looking at one of the comments that I have heard, this Tinubu management style that we understand goes way back, where he's consultative more than anything else, and he wants to hear from everybody. That aspect yesterday, he took that to Chatham House, and we got a glimpse into that. The kind of people that have been selected also probably speaks to the entire package, because I think Tinubu was he was bent on saying, look, it's not a one-man show. No successful endeavor of this scale actually is. And so I have people that I trust, depend on. There was El Rufai in there. There was Ayade in there. Dele Alake was in there. Wale Edun. Everybody, these are accomplished pros in their own rights and high government officials in their own rights. And I suppose that speaks to the quality of the man that enables him to bring such people close to him, working off the same book, which is his roadmap, the presidential campaign's roadmap that is already published in Nigeria. He gave them an inkling into it yesterday. I suppose all of that was very much on course.
Yes, I think just as you see a positive side of the team management style of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for some of us who have been privileged to work closely with him, I think I would say since my 30s, I've had opportunity of having interaction, close interaction, and even opportunity to debate with him on virtually, every subject matter. He's not somebody who shy away from debate with some of us who are much younger to him, and some of us who consider ourselves to be subordinate. And of course, he will listen to you. He will also argue his own position out and take whatever he thinks be able to best articulate his vision in that regard. So as a team player, some of us know him to be that, and of course he's also a very boisterous person when it comes to making arguments and of course articulating his views on the issues. And of course, I've also had some commentators saying that perhaps Asiwaju becomes question allocator rather than addressing the question. One, I would say that that speaks not correctly on what I saw at the live streaming of the Chatham House yesterday, and not only that he allowed some of his trusted aid allies and workers in the in the project, like Malam Nosri Rufai, Dele Alake, Benayade, and of course I saw, former Governor Fayemi also, being there, directing, questions on diaspora questions.
Exactly.
To be best addressed by Mahmoud.
Even our Governor Sanwo-Olu was there. Our Governor Sanwo-Olu was there. When I say our, I'm talking of Lagos.
Yes, of course. Some of us would also would have loved to be there, but for some other assignments, we are also, doing here. But beyond the fact that some of them had opportunity of expressing their view, Ashwaju also addressed some of the issues directly himself. So it's not as if he, using the word, parried all the questions. He addressed personally the question of youth engagement, youth involvement, and of course his ability to be able to transform disaster in Lagos to wealth in terms of his involvement in the Atlantic City project. So it's not the case that Ashwaju did not personally address some of the questions, but because he has confidence in the ability of some of us who are his disciples and who are his aides, he's able at times to direct us to address some of those questions. You can see particularly the national women leader of our party, who is a public health practitioner, was given opportunity to be able to address questions as pertain that regard. That's and right. Also that also spotlights the fact that Ashwaju does not care your age in terms of being able to seek your opinion as to matter. I think the national women leader is 36 years old. I know I've been working with Ashwaju, have close contact with him since I was in my early 30s, and since then, notwithstanding the disparity in our age and status, he has a lot of regard for opinion of other people. Mm-hmm. Of course, I've also seen some commentators saying those people that are asking those questions, has he constituted cabinet, for instance, is Dele Alake, for instance, going to be the Minister of Petroleum for him to make a comment in relation to oil theft? I think with respect to such commentator, that would rather be pedestrian. A person does not need to be a minister in any sector to be able to have opinion and advise his leader and the national president on any matter that the person may have an opinion. And of course, you cannot query the soundness of the answer provided by Dele Alake in terms of using drones, technology to be able to drive the challenges we have in the oil and gas sector.
Okay, indeed. And for those, who are commenting, of course, they're free to do so along the lines of maybe they were caught unawares by Ashwaju's management style and assigning questions. It's not as if he handed over. He listened. There were instances where he felt a need to flesh out some of the things that had been said, not correcting or anything, but fleshing out and explaining, just adding more clarity. This shows that, to me, that if he had wanted to, he could have taken the question himself, but, not to put too fine a point on it, too much of a point on it, that just happens to be how he does his own management, and there are those who know. Now, the point was made that Chatham House, popularly called Chatham House, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu is no stranger to that place, as was said by the moderator. It's been a while since he's been there. I think it was 2011, if I'm not mistaken. Ashwaji spoke about that, look, he's a well-exposed person, capable person. This is familiar terrain to him, delivering lectures on this high and global level. But what would be your comment to those who are saying that, well, you went across to Europe, to the UK in particular, to the Royal Institute of International Affairs, and from their point of view, as we say locally, hui ep. What has that done for us, Nigerians? Hui ep. Now, because they want Ashwaju one-on-one. They want Ashwaju with them. So they've actually concluded, depending on how you see it, that what was the benefit of going to to the UK, to the Royal Institute of International Affairs. What would be your response?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I think Ashwaju himself had offered another invitation to the Chatham House to come and speak after the election, by the grace of God, being won February 25, 2023. And of course, the chairman of the occasion also mentioned the fact that they have also extended the invitation to other candidates of other political parties, Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, Peter Obi of the Labour Party, and I think Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso of the NNP. It's left for them to attend or not to attend. Then as a presidential candidate and as a political party, I think we're at a liberty to choose where we want to appear and where we want to talk. In any event, somebody was saying that the Chatham House engagement did not make the newspaper headline in the United Kingdom. That's there's not going to be an election of the president of Nigeria in United Kingdom, but nobody can doubt the fact that the experience at the Chatham House yesterday is about, what is trending in the social media in Nigeria is also pervasive in the mainstream media in Nigeria. So in terms of success as a media engagement, I would say that it has been a successful endeavor, and it has also afforded our presidential candidates and our team an opportunity to articulate our perspective on critical areas that Nigerians will be asking questions.
Okay, sorry, Senator Bashiru. Okay, well, we'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll continue with this conversation and open the phones as well. I'm sure on a day like this, we can lean a bit on you because you would have thought that it was going to be half an hour, but we do implore you to please spend a bit more time with us. We'll be right back.
Politics is defined as getting what, where, when, and how. But in the mix, many things come to play to shape the political fortune of any country.
Honorable Minister, how you misinform the public?
From the political actors to the electorate, campaign to voting, from debates to policy decisions, big events happen to engage us in constant conversation.
That's what we're looking for. Not some people who are talking about ethnicity. No.
Who is on your mind?
Don't worry.
Join me every day on Politics Tonight, where we dissect issues that shape our political destiny. Politics Tonight, weekdays on TVC News.
In the month of December, on the 1st, it is World AIDS Day. On the 3rd, attention shifts to persons living with disabilities. And December 9th is dedicated to International Anti-Corruption Day. 10th is Human Rights Day, while the 11th is the 2nd anniversary of the abduction of over 300 students in Kankara, Katsina State. On the 12th of December, the World Health Organization dedicates the day as Universal Health Coverage Day. On the 17th of December, the abducted Kankara boys were freed 6 days after. 18th of December is set aside as International Migrants Day. It is the last month of the year. Brace yourself for an interesting December. Stay with TVC News.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Okay, welcome back, and we're looking at Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu's visit yesterday to Chatham House, the Royal Institute of International Affairs. I don't know why our Institute of International Affairs doesn't have a name. it would have been something else, but it doesn't. But their equivalent, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, is Chatham House, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu made a great outing there yesterday with an enlarged team. Okay, I hear that Emmanuel in Otokpo has been waiting, and also just to mention that Senator Ajibola Bashiru, the Senate spokesman, is our guest this morning, and he has graciously conceded to give us a bit more time. Thank you very much, Senator Bashiru. Now over to you, Emmanuel in Otokpo. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Good morning to your guest.
Thank you.
It's popularly said that style is the man. Thank God for the Chatham House gathering of yesterday. But it was more of a motley collection of strange bedfellows. I have a conclusion about Tinubu that he is afraid, very afraid of Nigerian press. If not, why did he dodge the gathering at home to go to Chatham House? He should have sat among his co-aspirants or candidates to tell us Nigerians what he intends to do for us. They say charity begins at home. But he went over there. Well, it's okay. I feel it's because of the press, Nigerian press phobia that took him there. And until he's ready to sit and tell us, humble himself and sit among other contestants and tell us what he intends to do, I personally will not take him seriously.
Okay.
Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Well, thank you very much for calling in, Emmanuel from Otokpo. Well, Ahmed Tinubu, it doesn't strike me that he's afraid of anything, but ignore that, scratch that. It's not my business to be putting comments in there. Senator Ajibola Bashiru, would you like to react to, Emmanuel's observation? He feels that is the reason.
What I know is that the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is perhaps one of the greatest patron of Nigerian media as a politician. And right from when he was governor, he's always a darling of Nigerian media. So for somebody to now say that he had to run to London to be able to have a platform, I think with respect, that's his own opinion. You see, democracy is about heterogeneity of ideas. So what I know is that even those, people that complain that he did not attend their program, they made Asiwaju's appearance at Chatham House to be a subject matter of their discussion in newspaper review today. I listened to it. So for me, as a politician, whatever platform that you think can be able to hear your ideas, you'll be able to do so. I don't know what question any Nigerian journalist want to ask Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu that had not been asked at Chatham House yesterday. It was not a teleguided affair. Probing, probing questions was asked of Asiwaju yesterday. I know one of the questions was even challenging, where should Asiwaju come out and contest in view of the fact that the present administration is also part of the present administration, and why should he contest? So perhaps some commentators did not even listen to what transpired at Chatham House before coming to say what it was. Questions was asked about diaspora voting. Question was asked about insecurity. Question was asked about youth employment. I don't know what other subject matter any Nigerian media will want to ask Asiwaju that had not been asked in that place. And if he could not shy away from those probing questions, why should that be a basis to say that they shine away from the Nigerian media? The Nigerian media is different from certain individuals that think that they must have it's their own way. And as a politician, I choose which media I want to engage in and at what time I want to engage them. It's part of your campaign strategy to determine what you want to do about media appearance.
Indeed. Let me say that, since I watched it like most people, I watched it myself, I felt that the erudite gentleman who anchored the event, he was slightly mistaken when he affirmed, when he asserted that Asiwaju was part of this administration for 8 years. So what is he wanting another term for? And then Asiwaju had to gently sort of explain. I think he didn't quite understand the import of it. Ashwaju, in his own humorous way, put it that, there's only one man who is the president. But I think most Nigerians would have understand the context of the question, that you're part of this administration. So it's like, what are you coming back to do? But he sort of set them right. Mr. George, thank you very much for holding on, sir. Go right ahead now.
Thank you, Uncle Yori. Uncle Yori, please, give me 90 seconds.
Sure,
to say
sure.
What I want to say.
Yeah.
I want to begin from the man who just called before me. I will want to ask him, which other station in Nigeria is he free to call on a program like this and make a contribution? That's unless it is TVC, I don't know of anyone. Is he able to call any other TV station and make contribution like the way he did today? The answer is no. So that already answers the question or the concern he raised about the Nigerian press. All the stations in this country, except one or two, are attacking Tinubu. They are not attacking issues. They are not addressing issues. They are attacking him. If I were in his position, I will shun them too. Because those town hall meetings they are calling him to is not about interview. It's about attacking him. There's a whole lot of difference between interviewing somebody and attacking him. If you have attacked me when you have already passed a judgment on me, you publish false information about me, and you want me to come and appear before you, you are already posing as a judge. I cannot appear before such deluded press. So, coming back to what happened yesterday, Uncle Yori, I saw it, I watched it, and I saw glimpses of 2023 and beyond. I saw capacity. Let the other major contestants, let them show their products. As well as you showed his products and what he's made of yesterday. Many of the people that answered questions are people he mentored to become who they are today, and key personnel in our leadership structure in Nigeria. Let Atiku do the same. Let Obi show his own. Let Kwankwaso show his own. That is how to know a person that has leadership qualities. Who have you been able to bring up to become a leader? The greatest investment in life is about the human resource. Materials will wane, but the human resource doesn't wane. Let the other contestants show who they have made. The content of the discussion is everybody knows that if Ashwaju were to answer all those questions himself, he would probably even answer them better. But he wanted to show that, look, I'm not alone in this business. I have capable hands that I can delegate issues to, and I will achieve results. If you have a president, otherwise, if you have a president that doesn't have ministers, then it is expected to do everything. Even if he becomes president, he will have ministers, he will have heads of MDA who will execute policies. He will only preside over policy formation and intellectualism. That is what I saw yesterday.
Indeed.
Let other candidates also show their own.
Exactly.
That's what we want to see. That's what the debate is. And I've not seen any TV station in this country that has come out with credible posture that is what they are after. They just want to insult him. They just want to rain abuses on him. That's why he said he will not help them to make money.
Indeed.
And I agree with him.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. George. He ended up making that point. You don't go to people who you consider to be unnecessarily hostile, just taking shots at you. And he said he was not going to agree. He was not going to cooperate with that, but that he's available. It didn't shy away from any question. When Emmanuel from Otukpo called in, and we were talking about fear, I don't think you associate fear with Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Even when the young lady, Priscilla, I believe the name was, if I recall well, she had said that she wanted to go deep, and he said, I will take that question. He called it a curious one, curious in curiosity. She wanted to know, and he delivered. Senator Bashiru, would you agree?
Yes, I think people have different perspectives about the issue, and just as I always say, heterogeneity of ideas underlie what democracy is all about. All of us are not expected to see one issue from one perspective. Like the gentleman that just intervened now, his own belief, and rightly so, is that if he were Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he would not just appear on any program, particularly when he doesn't even know what the idea is all about. For instance, he mentioned a town hall. Any media can say he's inviting people to town hall. You may or you may not attend the town hall meeting, and that is not. You are not obliged under the electoral law to appear before any person's program. I know that there has been institution of proper debate, which is done with the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, together with some civil sector organization. I think that one, everybody, recognize that one. Even at that, I think Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, or was it some other presidential candidate, refused to attend some of those debates. And nothing happened. So you cannot compel somebody to appear on your media, particularly, to gain, prime time, audience. And you are not paying. So possibly, I would advise Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu that if anybody wants him to appear on.
Oh, sorry, it froze a bit. Meanwhile, Mazi Okoroafo is on the line. Good morning to you, Mazi.
Good morning, Sir Yori. Good morning again.
Yeah.
Sir Yori, see, this issue of presentation, all the Jagaban have been saying, all of them are in that manifesto.
That's right.
Nigeria is a country that is educating Nigerians, and so it's educating not only Nigerians, the whole world. The content of that manifesto. That is what it's doing. So if you just package a textbook and keep it in the library without reading it, how will you know? What is doing now is just what we call presentation. So I don't know why people are complaining. People even think that to come down to outside Nigeria and sit down and come to that kind of state and gather people on that kind of state that it's not easy. That is why Nigeria with many people like all this local. What we are talking about, we go to present what we have outside Nigeria so that investors will look at it. By the time 2023 comes in, they start coming to Nigeria to do what? To invest. Not by the way that people are telling us today that it's insecurity. That one is rubbish.
Yeah.
So Nigerians will sit down and go and tell the police, so I would like to get the booklet of that manifesto, so that you sit down and keep it in your house.
Indeed.
So that when 2023 comes to, when it's being sworn in by 2023, you now come and say, okay, look, so time, this is what you have, this is time. That is what it's thinking. You don't have a copy of the manifesto. Yeah, look, Nigerians, we should learn a lesson that we need education. We have to move forward. We are no longer digital, analog. What we are now, what we talk about, digital. No longer analog government. We only need digital movement.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning, Mazi Okoroafo in Arochukwu. Thank you very much for calling in. The other thing, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, is that people observed, how do I put this, a misguided attempt to protest against Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's appearing there. In fact, all sorts of fabrications were made as to the success or otherwise of that endeavor. But when I said misguided, it's like, you know, people had underestimated the popularity of Bola Tinubu. And so somebody showed up and he was like a lone voice in one heck of a large forest. He was drowned out by the popular swell of pro-Asiwaju supporters. He had his, this is democracy for you, he had his say, but you could hardly hear it in that it was drowned out by pro-Tinubu chants and that kind of thing. Did you notice that particular comic aspect?
I noticed it, but actually I think that I saw an headline that said the fellow led pro-Tinubu group to Chatham yesterday, and I think that's an interesting caption that was done.
There was even a version. Sorry, Senator. There was even a version that he was so harassed he couldn't even alight from his car, that he will never forget the disgrace he felt. I mean, this was actually put out.
But I saw a picture of him, I mean, at the edge of a pro-Tinubu, group, and
that's right.
It was said that they have been ratified. I think the problem with some of our people is that they don't seem to know, or if I may use the word, they don't know the provenance of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not just a politician. He's a politician that has been in the pro-democracy trenches. He has been an agitator, he has been a protester, he has been a mobilizer, and he has, with respect to whatever anybody will say, impacted on the lives of so many Nigerians from all walks of life, from every part, of the country. So it's not just a run-of-the-mill kind of politician that you can come and start, threatening with ill-conceived and unnecessary, protest. What are you protesting about?
Indeed.
Chatham House is open. Even if he wants to appear there, he can apply so that if he has any topical issue on international affairs, they will invite him to come and say his own.
Indeed. As the moderator did mention that they still are expecting to host the chairman of INEC, the other presidential candidates. It's a free, and it's on record, and it's available everywhere. But Alex in Satellite Town, Lagos. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, what I would say is that my fear that the Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu should not hand over the government to Kaba, because those people answering questions, assume they know, and these people are going to use. Nigeria is tired of Kaba ruling this nation. If he cannot answer simple questions, I don't know what he's going to do. Because those people gathering, talking about what he's going to do, are you sure it's what you have to do for Nigeria? It's not more questions to answer. Kaba taking over the government, like the way even Buhari, Buhari have a good heart, but Kaba have taken over the government.
Okay.
Things are not moving well.
Well, thank you very much, Alex.
Yes.
Well, freedom of speech exists, and if you call those technocrats and high government officials, you refer to them as Kaba, I guess your prerogative. Senator Bashiru.
Yes, I think just as I said, everybody have their own view. I don't know how Wale Edun has become a Kaba or
Governor Ayade or Governor
Ayade or everything. In any event, if Kaba is about having people to help you in governance, then I think that is constitutionally recognized. Even our constitution mandated every president to appoint from every state a minister, and of course, you also have proposition to also employ people to be able to support you as special advisor. So I think if it's about people having experience in governance all over the world, people who are experienced are always engaged to be able to be part of any process. And therefore, even yesterday, it's not the case. I think the narrative would be wrong to say that Asiwaju shy away from questions. He was able to delegate appropriately and also make further clarifications and additions in some of those questions that have been asked of him.
Sorry to interrupt you, Senator. I got to interrupt you. Well, the directors just gave us another look at the quote-unquote cabal. We saw those personalities in there. But let me quickly squeeze in Ben's question. Good morning, Ben. Calling in from Lagos.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, in as much as Mr. Tinubu's outing was okay, but please, we should learn to be, would I say, not be leaning towards one political party. This is a national television station, you know. It's not an APC official television station. We should be plain and be equal in this presidential candidate, because at the end of the day, it's the whole Nigeria they are coming to rule. They are not coming to rule a particular political party. You understand?
Are you talking about this television station or generally?
I'm talking about the TVC television station. We should be objective and not be just.
We couldn't agree with you more on TVC. We frequently are inviting opposition politicians to please come on and tell us their piece. They don't always want to come for whatever reason, but we will always point it out when we do invite members of the opposition and they can't make it.
If you don't talk about others, you just talk about APC, but it's okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much for calling in. Really appreciate your call, Ben. But it is, you know, if you watch our station properly, you'll see that we take on guests from the PDP. Even this morning, a Labour Party person. We actually, you know, are trying to tick off all the parties, you know, but I guess you can't please all of the people, all of them. I guess what you're really saying, Ben, is that we should do even more of that. And I agree with you on that. Thank you very much for the comment. But, you know, we will sell our own and sell anybody else who is also in the arena. I fear that I've run out of time, and I've got to thank Senator Ajibola Bashiru, Senate spokesman, who emphasized at the top of the program that this was Ajibola Bashiru speaking as an APC member and as a member of the Presidential Campaign Council, so that even though I described him as the Senate spokesman, I think he was anxious that don't say that I'm speaking for the Senate. So thank you very much, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, for making this extended stay with us. You thought it would be for half an hour, but here you are. You've done the entire program with us. I thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you too. It's nice being here too.
Indeed. Okay, so that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.
The World Cup season is here again, and you can almost feel the excitement in the air. The best national teams in the world will be battling it out to determine who lifts the coveted FIFA World Cup trophy come December 18th, 2022. Wondering what each team's shadow looks like, where the seat in the standings, who will be playing who, and what to expect? We've got you covered with all the previews and reviews you need to stay right on top of everything in Qatar on FIFA World Cup Fans Special Show. Coming live on TVC News YouTube daily for 30 minutes, 50 minutes preview before the match, and 15 minutes review post-match of the day. Keep up with all the actions happening in Qatar with expert match previews and reviews from our seasoned sports pundits. And guess what? You also stand a chance to win loads of exciting prizes when you predict correctly the outcome of the match of the day. To participate in FIFA World Cup Fans Special, subscribe to TVC News YouTube channel. Enter your prediction in the comment section of the match of the day video. Use the hashtag FIFA World Cup Fans Special in your predictions. Finally, include the last 4 digits of your number with your predictions. Let's play! Never miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
Genuine business people desirous of success in today's environment ignore the taxman only at their own peril.
Under the oversight of this board, the FIRS will continue its transformation into a